go.
Traveler, Paimon, please let me be your partner for the... I'd like your assistance with this.
That's fine with Paimon. What do you think, Traveler?
I have a few... There are some places...
Sure.
I want to go back to where we... I believe there may still be... Are you worried? My worry.
Wow, Hazel.
The more cases... This should be approximately where you first encountered. Of course, we can... But I'd like to go over...
Let Paimon think. She warned us not to go near her.
And then what happened?
Then, Paimon saw some... Exactly!
It's possible, even if she is a ghost.
Wasn't she after...
I think she was just trying to scare you.
Oh.
Think about it. Besides, a ghost wouldn't have a...
That does...
I believe there are only two. But if you had really been cursed, then you would probably... So, this...
But why would she want to... Maybe she was trying to get us to quit so she could... Oh! Probably not. So why does she want to scare us? Do you have...
Based solely on... But this evidence alone, though...
Wheel of life.
Have you found any leads yet?
Yeah, some tree branch...
I see. Aside from the bent... If only there was some more conclusive evidence.
Excuse me. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, it's you guys! We heard you were out searching for clues. Oh, that's really...
Actually, we just asked the members of Mr. Ito's gang if that lady is either a nasty, evil spirit, or from... But we still want to hold them...
We long, which is why we want... Even though our powers are...
The Chinju Forest covers a large area, so it'd be great to have more. Welcome to the team.
Don't worry, we're very familiar with the area. We won't miss...
Life goes on.
Look what I found down by the river! Huh? What is it?
Is it a scrap of black cloth?
This is a piece of...
Shade cloth?
Yeah, it can effectively block out light. There's a rough tear in the cloth.
Branches?
Suppose that a large shade cloth... When the shade cloth was removed, either she didn't care...
But why would she...
I'm only speculating. Maybe she used it to Let's not worry about that for now. Next...
Oh, I know. I asked the gang member.
Good. Let's go find out what's...
This is the place. They claim that...
What? We saw the very same thing!
Let's start by taking a look around the area. Just as...
I found some sort of... The inside of it...
Judging from the burn marks left on the scene, the ghostly flames you saw were not created by yokai power. Rather...
There's some strange powder in the cracks of these stones. I picked some up and sniffed it to see what it is, and it made me...
Similar scare tactics. I believe we're closing in on the truth. I'm almost certain that the woman you encountered, she possesses no extraordinary powers. She was merely...
Some small props?
First and foremost, the test of courage. You were initially frightened by your first encounter with these three. Because you were already tensed up, you were breathing more rapidly and inhaled a lot of sleeping powder. That's when she pulled down.
So, it was all just a she tricked us!
There is, however, still one loose end. The person who commissioned my investigation did become stranded on the beach as a result of someone. That couldn't have been accomplished by just a few small props. But if she possesses... She can only use props to scare...
Whoa,
If we rule out the potential of... I know who the woman is.
We'll come along too.
No. You should go back and tell the others not to be afraid and not waste their time searching the forest. The truth has surfaced. It's time to put an end to all the unnecessary...
Okay. But if you run into any danger, simply call out our name.
There shouldn't be any danger now, but thank you. Let's search along the cliffside. If I'm not mistaken, there should be a chunk of earth that's unlike the others.
Faster? Okay, faster.
I knew it. I knew that you would come find me here.
There she is. Paimon thought you were... So, who are you? And why did you try to...
I have already warned you never to speak to me. If you don't leave now, then...
She's terrifying! Hazel, it sure doesn't seem like she's using any
Don't move. Just trust me. Your yokai power won't scare us. It will only hasten your demise.
yokai power?
Huh? How did you know?
Your yokai that emerged from an object and assumed a human form outside of your own body. When this type of yokai is close to its own body, it can use some yokai power, but that ability weakens as it moves further away. And if the original body is destroyed, then the yokai that Should I refer to you as a Hagoita spirit or Tsukumogami?
Don't bother. You may call me Hanyuda Chizuru. That is the name I go by now.
Chizuru, what? If you're a yokai, you should Besides, we had a great time playing Akitsu.
Yes. That's why. That's why.
Sad?
I'm sure the yokai have already told you of the story about Kamai befriending the samurai. But they don't actually know the entire story. The samurai was about 25 years old when they met at the festival. They met again 10 years later and remained friends. They spent time together drinking, traveling, and sparring. When they had first met, they merely respected each other, but 10 years later, they became best friends. After another decade, the samurai had reached the pinnacle of his swordsmanship and won their duel by a narrow margin. Kamai was so astonished by his defeat, he gave up drinking and began training to become stronger for their next duel. However, another 10 years later, Kamai did not meet the samurai. As it turned out, war had broken out in the south, and the samurai had gone to defend the border. Kamai was unconcerned, because 10 years was nothing in a yokai's lifetime. But when they met once again, Kamai discovered that the samurai was already 65 years old. He couldn't believe his eyes when he saw the samurai's gray hair and scars covering his body.
Hey, old friend. Can you still wield the sword?
I'm getting too old to fight. This time, I've come to say goodbye.
I see. Then, how about one last game of Akitsu Hazara?
All right.
The samurai gave his best effort during the game, but had to quit halfway through because he was too weak. After putting down his Agoita, Kamai remained silent for a long time before letting out a long sigh.
What a shame.
Their friendship started as something they looked forward to, and in just a few decades it turned into regret. Lord Kamai's appearance hadn't changed, but his dear friend in front of him had grown old. The joys of friendship gradually gave way to the pain of regret. People often say that those outside the situation can see things more clearly, and I learned a harsh truth after witnessing all of it. Everything that people come to regret is inevitably set in motion from the beginning. We yokai are different from humans. We have longer lifespans and different natures, but we share the same world. We interact with one another. We are drawn to one another, and will eventually part ways. When the dream ends, even a wise and seasoned yokai like Kamai felt sadness when it was time to say goodbye.
Oh.
So,
I was hiding on this beach, waiting for the last, but those 3 yokai came and set up the Akitsu Yugen here. I didn't want them to approach humans with
is that why you pretended to be a ghost? Oh, so you must be the one who...
My power has become... But that jerk was greedy. He wanted to steal the decorations from Akitsu Yugen and sell them for a profit. That's why I used my yokai power, to teach him a lesson.
Ah, so that's what happened. By the way...
It's okay if you don't want to tell us. I've already figured it out. Your true form is this pair of Hagoita, isn't it?
Hagoita? Oh,
The pair of Hagoita used by Kamai and the human samurai to play Akitsu Hazura hundreds of years ago. You gradually developed sentience after being influenced by great yokai power. You were the closest to witness their story. Even with the yokai power's blessing, the Hagoita have started to rot away after hundreds of years. And if my theory is correct, this pair of Hagoita is also the item we need to find for the 3rd round of the test of courage.
Excellent work. You figured it all out. Congratulations, little ones. You've passed the 3rd round of the test of courage.
Miko? And the Shrine Maiden?
I apologize for causing you concern. It was actually Lady Well, because fear is induced by uncertainty, the more chaotic...
So you're the one responsible for all the scare...
Hitomi, go tell the others that the test of...
Now that I've solved the mystery, I'm going back to meet with my client. The intent to steal is not exactly a serious crime, but it can't go unpunished. I'll see you 2 later.
Miko, did you choose the Hagoita for the 3rd round of the test of courage because you already knew about Chizuru?
Miko, Lady Yae, you're...
I followed Kitsune Saigu around the Mikawa Flower Festival one year and saw her play Akitsu Hazura. That was when I saw you. You didn't have a human form at the time and possessed only the earliest traces of sentience.
I remember now. You were on Kitsune Saigu's shoulder.
I went for a stroll on the beach some time ago and sensed a familiar yokai power. Though your power was weak, I was still able to find you. You were sitting in a tree, gazing at the tourists below. I overheard you telling yourself that you must be patient and avoid contact with humans.
Huh? When was that? I didn't notice you at all.
With your powers being so diminished, it was only natural that you didn't notice me. You must have been blaming yourself all this time. You knew Kamai and the samurai became friends as a result of Akitsu Hazura, a game connected to...
At the time, I couldn't take on a human form like this. I had only a hazy sense of the outer world. After they first met at the Mikawa Flower Festival, but after they said their final goodbyes, I could often hear Kamai sighing to himself. I couldn't help but hide, because I blamed myself, Lady Yae. You are a well-known yokai. You must know many more things than I do. So I have people meet, become friends. Is it really worthwhile for us yokai to interact with humans?
Why not? Tell me, how did you feel when you played Akitsu Yugen with the Traveler?
I felt happy, but...
But your rationality told you that it was wrong, didn't it? It turns out that there is still another piece to the story of Kamai and the samurai that you are missing.
What do you mean? The samurai and
True, but the story doesn't end there. That samurai's name was Yanagibashi Takuto, who also happens to be the founder of the Soran Ishin art. It is believed that Takuto developed this style of swordsmanship while dueling with Kamai, who had also befriended the third-generation heir of the Soran Ishin art, Tominaga Masanari. 500 years ago, Kamai and Tominaga fought side by side until their final moments, and the sword Tominaga wielded was passed down from Yanagibashi. The regret Kamai once felt had finally been resolved.
Oh. I never knew.
We yokai are not like humans. Humans have too short a lifespan, and the day will inevitably come when we must say goodbye. However, the bond formed by friendship will not be... There's no reason to be upset by this. Time flies...
Hey, compadres!
Ito, what are you doing here?
You told me... I even know who the ghost... Hey, you're that fox lady. Why are you here?
Please just disregard my presence. Now, tell us what you discussed.
Right. All right, listen up. To celebrate the end of the Test of Courage event, we will be holding the Mikawa Flower Festival. I gave it some real thought and That's right. Arataki, the one and only Ito, will be in charge of organizing...
Hooray for Ito!
Oh,
Can we really trust this guy with the festival?
Hey, what you trying to say? Besides, it won't just be me. Other people will help too. Even my bro Ayato is gonna be there. Everyone's busy getting ready, and the festival will be up and running in no time.
You're the best, Ito!
and what would a festival be without me? I'll be sure to go have a look too. It has been some time since...
Paimon's gotta admit, Ito does have a festival, delicious food. Count Paimon in!
All right, I'll join. If you don't mind, that is.
Looks like the festival has started! Let's go check it out!
Faster?
Ito and Goro! What are you two talking about?
Oh, I was just saying that if I had...
Fishing. You know, when I lived on Watatsu...
Take it from an expert, using your hands to catch fish is nowhere near as fun as using... Just the other day, I caught a fish so big that I didn't even know how to handle it. I even wrote a letter to Yae Publishing House about it.
That's an unusual...
Huh? A big fish? How come you didn't tell us?
Huh? You?
Oh, you bet I did. I wrote to the That's Life column and asked Miss Hina for advice. She's so amazing. She got back to me really quickly, too.
Huh. What a coincidence. I do some part-time work there, and I recently received a similar letter.
You mean the letter was about dealing with a giant fish they caught? No. Could it be? Could it be that there's someone as good at fishing as I am? Oh, not on my watch. Hey, you all go enjoy the festival. I'm gonna get out there and catch an even bigger fish. Just you wait. I'll be inviting you all to my fish feast.
Aw, the string snapped. Yoimiya, this is more difficult than it looks. Can you really fish out the—
Don't worry. Let me show you a little trick. Just Yo-Yo Tsuri! Paimon's seen this game in some light novels before. Do you want to give it a shot? Close one eye, aim carefully, and fish it out quickly. Oh, it looks kinda tricky. Paimon will let the traveler—
but Yoimiya, if I close one eye, I won't be able to see anything.
This ramen is so good.
Yes, it feels like it's been ages since the last time—
You mean you don't get to eat ramen very often, Ayaka? But it's so delicious.
Oh, it's you. We'll need 2 more bowls of ramen, please. Food like ramen and hot pot tend to have a lot of oil and salt, so I don't get to eat them very often.
Oh.
Yeah, now Paimon totally gets why Ayaka would put cake into hot pot.
Huh?
Oh, by the way, were there any—
Yes, but... well, it's a long story.
Paimon can't believe you couldn't get a single water balloon. You've gotten rusty. Chizuru managed to finally get one and gave it to Hitotsume Kozo.
He looked like he really wanted it.
But Paimon wanted one too.
All right, then I'll catch one for you next time.
Yay!
Come on now, this is way more expensive than usual. Even if it is a festival, you shouldn't hike up the prices this—
Hey now, it costs money to run a stall. I need to raise my prices to help cover the expenses, you know?
Fair enough. How about 5 masks for 30% off?
All right, all right.
It's so hot. Feels like I'm being roasted here.
Don't get too close. It's better to keep a few steps back.
I know. It's just so rare to see such a nice bonfire. I want to get as close as I can to enjoy it.
There are many beautiful things in the world. There's no need to be anxious. The festival has only just begun.
I was surprised that you didn't even tell your sister. It seems she was quite frightened, too.
It would have been uninteresting had I told her what was going to happen ahead of time. Besides, with her friends by her side, she wouldn't ever be too scared. Having a little fright is good to release any tension she might have accumulated lately.
Everything went according to plan.
Hey, you two, stop laughing! It was scary!
Have you finished exploring the festival? Well then, are you having a good time?
Yeah, it's—
The original Mikawa Flower Festival was much more live because it's always more fun to enjoy a festival.
Yes.
Well then, I'm guessing you have something.
What did you want to say to us?
You saw through me again. I can't help but feel you
It's not that I know everything. It's just that I've been in your position before.
Traveler, do you have a moment? Life goes on. All right, here will do. Actually, I was a yokai derived from a pair of Hagoita who came into being in. I wanted to go to more festivals, become friends with humans, and play Akitsu. But every evening, as night began to set in, I'd recall the bitter smile. Then I would wonder. As a result, I was convinced that I couldn't do it. I told myself I'm sorry that I spoke so strangely when I expected you to flee in terror. But when we met again, I knew you mistook me as one of the yokai. But instead of telling you the truth, I went and played Akitsu Yugi. Perhaps it's because or perhaps it was because I knew I didn't have much time left, and I didn't want to be alone. Anyway, thank you for taking the time to play with me. When we played at the time, I wished for us to never cross paths again. However, let me think. Okay. Listen carefully. I wish that every day of your journey ahead will be filled with joy, like a festival.
Faster? Okay. Faster? Okay, faster. faster? Okay, Wheel of Life. Faster? Okay, faster. Okay, faster? Okay, faster. Faster? Okay, faster.
Have you ever kept goldfish as pets? They're very cute.
Faster? Okay, faster.